Hello, welcome everyone. Distraction interview series. I am Jeremy Lambert, joined by Limitless Pro Wrestling Chaotic Wrestling Champion Davienne. Davienne, how are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. It is Tuesday morning. I have coffee. It doesn't taste very well. Are you on the road?
I am, but I'm about to get to the parking lot where I am going.
The life of a wrestler, being on the road.
Yeah, honestly, really busy week, or honestly, like 2 months ahead of me. And I don't know how I'm gonna deal with it, but like we're gonna do it.
Well, I don't know if it's the peak, but Limitless Pro Wrestling Euphoria on September 25th, 8-person tag team grudge match. Your team, Team Davienne, yourself, Becca, and the Sea Stars against Team Prestigious, led by a man named Jon Alba, who Fightful fans and Distraction fans are very familiar with. Um, how much do you just want to punch this man in the face?
Oh my gosh, you have no idea how much I want to just punch John Alba in his stupid face. Like, I feel like everybody can just look at him and be like, yeah, that's a real punchable face.
It is a very, very, very punchable face. Do you
Yeah.
know his weakness? Because I have some inside tips on John Alba that I'll be more than happy to share with you.
I mean, I need as many tips as I can get, but I have had, thank you, Twitter, some people, like, send me messages of John Alba's weaknesses. I won't publicly say what I know because obviously, like, I want to use it against him.
Oh, I'll say it. Go after his throat. This man, he's very protective of his throat. If he can't talk, he's pretty useless, honestly. So it's already sore. He complained about doing karaoke in Chicago. Just do like drop a knee, drop an elbow, just right on this man's throat.
Oh, I got you. I got you.
Now the stipulation of this match: if you lose, you have to join Team Prestigious, and if your team wins, Alba is banned for the rest of this year. How much extra motivation do you have? Because I don't think you want to be hanging out with Alba for the rest of this year. You'd rather just get rid of him for the next couple of months.
Absolutely not. I have had to deal with this man and his little like goon squad since March, and I'm sick of it. I'm so over it, and I feel like all of the Limitless fans have been over John Alba for years. So we're just gonna get rid of him. See you never, John. Like, let's just extend it all the way to 2022 if I could have that.
He tried to set this up on like the basis of he was helping you out because you were on a bit of a losing streak when he made the offer to get you to join Prestigious, and then I think you just didn't, at least this is my interpretation of it, you didn't want to join this so bad you just started winning and proving to him like, no, I'm better than your group, I don't actually need you.
Exactly. I was on a little bit of a losing streak, but here's the thing: like, I was losing to really good wrestlers, and like that's okay, you know. Like, I lost to Becca, who's a fantastic wrestler and one of my best friends. So like, did it suck to lose to her? Yeah, but I don't feel bad about myself or think my career is a downward spiral just because I had a couple losses where John Alba thinks that I was basically on the verge of quitting because I was just so terrible. And he's like, oh, we'll make you prestigious. No, I'll do it by myself. I have done everything by myself my whole career. I don't need anybody, especially not John Alba.
Now this is an intergender match, so obviously you're very comfortable with those. What do you think of the intergender debate in wrestling, and how much do you learn from wrestling with the men compared to the women?
So I am always going to be on the pro intergender side of wrestling. I can understand why people would not like it. Like, not everything in wrestling is everyone's cup of tea. That's fine. That's why there's so much wrestling out there, that there's something for everybody to be a fan of. If you don't like intergender wrestling, you just don't have to watch it. Like, it's that simple. But for me, I started wrestling in 2012. That's when I started training, and I literally trained for about 5 or 6 years as the only woman at my school. So if I didn't train with men, like, I wouldn't have been able to wrestle. And then just like the talent pool, there's so much more men's wrestlers. Like, it's just the population. Like, there's just more men than women. And then you see this evolution in wrestling of, like, there's not just 2 girls on a show. On a Limitless, there's 3 segments or 4 segments with women on them. And it's like, we have all this room. We don't need to just put the girls in the same match, because they're just as talented. And I just, like, for me, wrestling men putting on, like, another level. It just there's much more opportunities to, like, learn from somebody who's better than you, just because the population of men's wrestlers is so much bigger than women's wrestlers.
And one man who is killing it right now, the Limitless champion, Daniel Garcia, he is also competing seemingly every week in AEW. When you see, like, the success of somebody like Daniel Garcia, who is kind of grinded through that scene like you, like, what does that say to you?
It really just shows that, like, anything is possible, and that Limitless is such an incredible platform to create, like, stars of wrestling. Daniel Garcia is so freaking talented. Like, I'm so happy that he's a, like, one, like, just, he's so good. I, like, can't even just describe him. Just, like, yeah, he's just really good. And it's so great to see somebody like him, you know, achieving a bigger goal and a higher platform, like him and Lee Moriarty and JD Drake. Like, these are all people that are in the same locker room as me, and it's like, okay, yeah, like, my goals are attainable since I'm in the same locker room with these people.
You mentioned Moriarty and JD Drake. They announced that the Workhorsemen are going to be on Euphoria. Anthony Green is facing Daniel Garcia in the main event for the title. I mean, this is their anniversary show. It's the biggest show of the year. Like, is there any extra pressure on yourself, your team, to go out there and be like, we're going to show that we're just as good as all these guys, getting a lot of publicity, whether it be from AEW or formerly in WWE?
Yeah, honestly, it's a lot of pressure. I feel like every show is a lot of pressure, just because the card is always so stacked, and, like, you want to be able to have the best match on that card, no matter if, you know, Daniel Garcia, Anthony Green, you know, the Workhorseman, whoever it may be. Like, I'm going into my match being like, the fans are going to remember this, the best match on the card, and that's what I'm competing for. The anniversary show, it just, the stakes are even higher, not even just because of the stipulation of my match, because I will die before I have to hang out with John Alba. But just because, like, that, like, Anthony and Daniel Garcia is going to be incredible. All the matches are going to be incredible. So, like, we want our match to be memorable as well. So, yeah, there's a lot of pressure going into it.
How much camaraderie is there aside from Alba, who I'm sure just sticks to himself and doesn't want to talk to anybody but his own group, but everybody else in the Limitless locker room? It's a lot of guys who have kind of grinded through the independent scene, have been in AEW. We hear a lot about the camaraderie in those locker rooms. What's the locker room like back at Limitless, and everybody kind of talking to each other and critiquing each other?
I love the Limitless room. There's kind of a reason why, like, my main 2 promotions are Limitless Wrestling and Chaotic Wrestling. It's not because I don't want to, like, try and travel country more. It's just, like, I love those 2 locker rooms, and those promotions, and they give me great exposure and great opportunities, that like those are the dates I'm making first. And like luckily they run a lot of them. And like I'll try to, you know, branch out in dates that are of like not a Limitless or a Chaotic book, but like you go into the locker room and everybody just wants everybody to kill it and be successful, and they're there to, you know, help critique your match, or like if you need help with something, like you can literally go to anybody in the locker room and it's like, oh, everybody's awesome. So like you're not gonna get bad advice from anybody.
You mentioned Chaotic, and you are the Chaotic heavyweight champion. You defeated JT Dunn like just weeks ago. What did that title victory? You've had a lot of battles with JT Dunn too. Somebody you're very familiar with. What did that victory mean to you?
That victory was probably my biggest accomplishment in wrestling. You know, for like personal and professional reasons. Like, I started with Chaotic Wrestling, and then for a while, like I wasn't booked there. They just like went in a different direction. So I was kind of like, you know, someone without a home for a bit. And then I got brought back and I started doing the intergender stuff. I started tagging with JT. And then, you know, we went into like our story, and it's like a 2-year-long culmination of story. And to just like, I never imagined myself like being a trailblazer or something. And I feel like it's weird when I say it myself. I'm like, ew, like I don't like it. But to be somebody who like break a glass ceiling, or, you know, open doors for girls that are coming up, I never in my wildest dreams did I ever think, like even just on a small independent level, like, you know, I didn't win like the title at WrestleMania, but it felt like that because it was just like so personal to me that this is my school, this is my home promotion, and to just like have the opportunities and the trust in me that like it didn't matter that I was a girl. It was just like, no, people adore you and they want to see you in the main event. And like you deserve to be in the main event because you're putting out main event caliber matches. And it's just like to win a title is just like the icing on the cake. It's just absolutely incredible. And I cry literally every single time I see it.
You mentioned your homes are Limitless and Chaotic, but you have traveled elsewhere. One place you've traveled is Beyond Wrestling, and Beyond's coming back with season 3 of Uncharted Territory. Have you been called for that to appear on that show?
I have not. I think it's great. Beyond is doing their thing again with season 3. Hopefully I'll be a part of it, but I haven't heard anything.
Well, they got to get on that. They got to make that call. What are they waiting for? And another place you traveled was AEW Dark earlier this year, taking on Tay Conti. What was that experience like?
It was wild. It was super cool though. I had never done any kind of. I mean, I had my very first match was for Ring of Honor, but that was just like such a whirlwind that it's kind of still foggy in my brain from 8 years ago. But yeah, it was the first time I had ever done any kind of TV or like extra work. So it was crazy, but it was an awesome experiment. Tay Conti is awesome. I would love to wrestle her again.
How did that come about? Did they just? I mean, I know they were flying people in and out of Jacksonville because they were holding the tapings there in the pandemic. Did they just make a phone call and be like, "Hey, can you be here on this day to work this match?"
Pretty much. It was kind of like I was recommended, so then I reached out, and then they just sent me some dates. I went twice. The first time, unfortunately, like somebody was injured, so my match got cut. But they were like, "Oh, we're impressed enough to have you come back a second time." So I mean, everything was awesome there. I really enjoyed my experience.
Let's move outside of wrestling real quickly. I like to get to kind of know the person outside of the wrestling world. What do you like to do for fun?
Oh, that's a great question. um, oh wow, I like to sleep.
Good
I really
answer.
enjoy
I like
sleeping.
that.
That's my favorite activity, honestly. I'm a very big like reality TV watcher. I when it's I'm not a winter girl. I live in the Northeast. I hate winter. But when it's nice out, I like to go like hiking, or to the beach. I'm a really big country music fan, so if I have a weekend free, I would love to go to a country concert. Um, yeah, those are like the gist of my activities. I love a good escape room too. Those are
Oh, okay. Give me some reality television shows that you're watching or enjoy.
Oh boy, you're gonna expose me like that? It's trash. It's trash. It's the
I'm a big fan of trash reality shows as well. So I'm right there with
oh
you.
perfect. So I mean, you gotta go for the big ones: The Bachelor, Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise,
Okay.
um, Jersey Shore, the remake. Like I watch every week. It's incredible. Um, I watch the Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I watch all the spin-offs to Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Total Bellas, absolutely. Um, I'm trying to. Yeah, that's the extent. Sometimes I'll throw in some Real Housewives too.
So you go like top of the chain when it comes to like trash reality, like just the most popular
I,
stuff.
pretty much. I also just watched Temptation Island,
Oh,
which
now we're
was
talking.
wild. Um,
Yes.
yeah, that was incredible. I also like and the Netflix ones like Too Hot to Handle. Horrible. I like melt my brain watching these shows. Like
I just finished Too Hot to Handle season 1 and my girlfriend and I started season 2. Have you watched you've got to watch this show by the way. I'm going to recommend it to you right now. I think it's on HBO Max. I'm pretty sure it is. F-Boy Island.
no, that sounds incredible.
Oh, it's god awful, but like it's great like trash reality.
I love that. I'm definitely checking it out.
Yeah, Temptation Island is a good one because like you know where you're going there. You're all gonna cheat on each other. What are we doing here? No relationship's getting
It's
stronger out of
crazy.
this.
It's crazy. Like, and then they get mad and they cheat, and I'm like, wait, like what? What?
Yes.
It's crazy.
Like if you got to take your significant other Temptation Island and be like, we need to go here to prove that we love each other and not get tempted by someone else. Your relationship probably ain't that strong. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
um, I got to get you out of here on this. Can you say one nice thing about John Alba?
Ugh. Okay. I will say that I appreciate the fact that Don Alba would be friends with Mac Daniels. Mac is one of the worst human beings ever, but he's easy on the eye. So good for you, Jon Alba. That's it. That's all I can say. It's like not
Guys,
even a
it's
compliment to John. It's more of a compliment to Mac, but
that's fine. You
it
don't
is
need to
what it is.
compliment John Alba. He's honestly he's horrible. He tries to hijack our show all the time. Like he just wants to be the center of
He is
attention,
a
and
menace
guys
to
like that suck.
society.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
he's
agree.
a
Please
menace
again, drop an
to
elbow
society.
on his throat, drop a knee, just kick him right in the throat, chop him in the throat, whatever you got to do. Just make sure he can't talk ever again.
I got you.
Guys, it's Limitless Pro Wrestling Euphoria, September 25th. Again, Davienne is going to be teaming with Becca and the Sea Stars against Team Prestigious. The headliner is Daniel Garcia, defending the Limitless World title against Anthony Green. Davienne, let the people know where they can find you on socials.
You can find me at Davienne __ on Twitter and Instagram, and I have a Facebook like page at Not America's Sweetheart.
There you go. Anything else you would like to plug to wherever the people can find you, or just give a shout out?
Yeah, so you can also find me or like find my merch. I have a Big Cartel store. I think it's davienne.bigcartel.com, and some exclusive t-shirts on Pro Wrestling Tees. And I'll just give a shout out to my girls, Becca and Sea Stars, because we're going to whoop Prestigious' butt on September 25th.
There you go. Thank you for your time today, Davienne. I really appreciate it. And guys, we will talk to y'all after a while.